Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the most exciting upcoming games heading to Nintendo Switch and the anticipated Switch 2. Whether you're into action RPGs, mystery adventures, or just want to beat people up with the power of love, this list has something for everyone. Let's jump right in. REANIMAL is a dark, cooperative horror adventure from Tarsier Studios, the team known for crafting unsettling worlds in Little Nightmares. Set to release on February 13th, 2026 on Nintendo Switch 2, PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and Series S, the game follows a brother and sister returning to a once familiar island now consumed by disturbing, twisted creatures. The story centers on rescuing their missing friends while uncovering the island's buried secrets, told through environmental details rather than direct exposition. Gameplay blends cinematic platforming, environmental puzzles, stealth, and tense exploration, encouraging players to hide and outmaneuver threats instead of fighting them. A shared camera enhances the claustrophobic feel, keeping focus tight on character reactions and the oppressive surroundings. While fully playable solo with AI support, the experience is clearly built around cooperative play, either locally or online, reinforcing themes of vulnerability and dependence. Exploration expands as players gain access to a boat, allowing them to revisit and discover hidden corners of the island, deepening both the mystery and the atmosphere. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn Edition arrives on Nintendo Switch 2 on May 22, 2026, bringing the full base adventure together with the Beyond the Dawn expansion in one complete package. The story follows Alphen, a masked warrior who cannot feel pain, and Xion, a woman cursed to harm anyone she touches, as they rise against the Renin rulers oppressing the world of Dana. Combat plays out in fast, real-time battles where you control one character directly while coordinating a full party, chaining artists into fluid combos, dodging at the right moment, and triggering powerful boost strikes to break enemy defenses. Each character has a distinct fighting style, encouraging smart team setups and synergy rather than button mashing. Exploration blends wide-open fields, detailed towns, side quests, crafting, fishing, and character bonding moments that deepen the cast. The Beyond the Dawn content continues the narrative after the main journey, adding new areas, quests, and story chapters that expand the world while keeping the same smooth, responsive action system at its core.
Everyone! I just don't fit in anywhere!
But there are things in this world, in the here and now, that are worth protecting. That's why I'm still here. And I won't let you take them away!
Starsand Island is a cozy life simulation. Trails in the Sky Second Chapter is a full remake of the classic JRPG sequel, scheduled to launch in fall 2026 on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, alongside other platforms. The story continues directly after the first chapter, following Estelle Bright as she searches for Joshua, while a deeper conspiracy involving the shadowy Ouroboros organization begins to unfold across the Liberal Kingdom. The narrative leans heavily into political tension, character development, and long-form world-building, expanding the scope of the original adventure with more cinematic presentation. Gameplay keeps the strategic, turn-based combat the series is known for, using a grid-based battle system where positioning, turn order, and elemental arts play a major role. Exploration includes detailed towns, story-driven side quests, and dungeon crawling, now fully realized in modern 3D visuals. With updated character models, voiced scenes, and refined mechanics, this remake aims to preserve the depth of the original while making it more immersive for a new generation of players. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth arrives on Nintendo Switch 2 on June 3, 2026, continuing the remake project as Cloud and his allies leave Midgar and step into a much wider world. The story follows the group across diverse regions as they pursue Sephiroth, expanding character arcs while raising the emotional and narrative stakes. Gameplay blends real-time action with tactical command inputs, letting you control one character directly while issuing abilities, magic, and items to the rest of the party through the ATB system. Combat rewards smart switching between characters, exploiting elemental weaknesses, and timing powerful limit breaks and cinematic synergy attacks. Exploration is far more open compared to the previous chapter, featuring large, interconnected zones, side quests, optional bosses, minigames, and world activities that encourage going off the main path. With smoother transitions between exploration and battle, refined mechanics, and expanded party interactions, Rebirth aims to deliver a deeper, more ambitious RPG experience on Nintendo's next-generation hardware.
You're going to pay! Now, who wants to be the first lucky lady?
Hey, boss! Your guests are here! At long last, the
Mouse. PI for Hire launches on March 19, 2026 for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, delivering a first-person shooter wrapped in a 1930s rubber hose cartoon style. Set in the gritty city of Mouseburg, you play as private investigator Jack Pepper, pulled into a dangerous case that spirals into corruption, crime, and escalating chaos. The entire world is presented in hand-drawn black and white animation, giving every shootout and cutscene a distinctive vintage look, while still feeling fast and responsive. Gameplay focuses on fluid FPS combat with a varied arsenal that includes pistols, shotguns, Tommy guns, and more unusual experimental weapons, many of which can be upgraded to match different playstyles. Movement is quick and arcade-like, encouraging aggressive play, but exploration also matters, with semi-open levels hiding secrets and optional paths. Between intense firefights, you'll investigate environments, gather clues, and follow narrative threads that push the noir-inspired mystery forward, blending stylish presentation with classic shooter mechanics. Mario Tennis Fever launches on February 12, 2026, exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2, bringing a fresh, arcade-style spin to the series while keeping its competitive core intact. Matches revolve around classic tennis mechanics like topspin, slice, lobs, and precise positioning. But the new Fever system adds a strategic twist. As rallies extend, a gauge fills and allows players to trigger powerful Fever shots that can disrupt opponents with dramatic, court-altering effects, shifting momentum instantly. The game features a massive roster of 38 playable characters, each with distinct strengths that encourage different playstyles in singles or doubles. Players can also choose from dozens of unique rackets that introduce special abilities, adding another layer of tactical depth. Beyond standard exhibition and ranked online play, there's an adventure mode that blends light storytelling with structured challenges, alongside tournament brackets, special rule variations, and multiplayer options designed to keep matches unpredictable and fast-paced.
It's tennis with a twist! So grab your racket and...
The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is set to launch in 2026 on Nintendo Switch 2, bringing the iconic open-world RPG back with modern enhancements while preserving its original depth. The story unfolds in the province of Cyrodiil after the Emperor's assassination triggers a crisis that opens portals to the demonic realm of Oblivion, unleashing Daedric forces across Tamriel. You create a fully customizable character and shape your path through a flexible, skill-based progression system that improves abilities based on how you play. Combat blends real-time swordplay, archery, stealth, and a wide range of magic, allowing hybrid builds and creative strategies. Exploration remains a core focus, with sprawling cities, hidden ruins, guild questlines, and optional side stories that reward curiosity. The remaster upgrades visuals with improved lighting, textures, character models, and smoother interface design, while also including the Knights of the Nine and Shivering Isles expansions, delivering the complete experience with refined performance on Nintendo's newer hardware.
Master ranged or melee weapons, wield powerful magic, or use stealth skills to best your foes. In this remastered version, character models, weapons, even rocks and sweet rolls have all been meticulously recreated. Combat animations have also been updated to give them a modernized touch.
Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties launches on February 12, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, combining a full remake of Yakuza 3 with an additional side story expansion. The Kiwami 3 portion retells Kazuma Kiryu's Okinawa chapter with modernized visuals, reworked character models, enhanced lighting, and smoother combat built around the series' refined real-time brawling system. Players explore Okinawa and Kamurocho, engaging in street fights that mix light and heavy combos, grabs, counters, and environmental finishers, while heat actions deliver cinematic impact. Outside combat, the experience keeps the franchise's signature structure, blending emotional main story beats with a wide range of sub-stories and mini-games that bring the city to life. Dark Ties shifts perspective to Yoshitaka Mine, expanding the narrative with new missions, combat variations, and additional insight into the events surrounding Kiryu. Together, both stories deliver a character-driven crime drama supported by urban exploration, side activities, and intense hand-to-hand action rebuilt for modern hardware.
Let's change this up.
Get lost!
Scott Pilgrim EX releases on March 3rd, 2026 for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, delivering a brand new side-scrolling brawler set in a chaotic, time-distorted version of Toronto. The story follows Scott, Ramona Flowers, and several other playable characters as they fight through gangs, robotic threats, and supernatural enemies in an original narrative developed with series creator Brian Lee O'Malley. Combat builds on classic arcade beat-em-up foundations, with fast combos, launchers, aerial strings, and environmental weapons that can be picked up or thrown mid-fight. Each character features distinct movesets and upgrade paths, allowing players to unlock new abilities, boost stats, and customize builds through equipable enhancements. Levels are designed with branching paths, hidden rooms, and optional challenges that reward exploration beyond simply clearing enemies. The game supports up to 4-player local and online co-op, emphasizing coordinated crowd control and combo synergy, all backed by an energetic, chiptune-inspired soundtrack that reinforces its retro style. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle launches on May 12, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, delivering a cinematic action-adventure set in 1937 between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. Players step into the role of Indiana Jones as he investigates the mystery of the Great Circle, a secret tied to ancient sites scattered across the globe. The game is primarily played in first person, immersing you in exploration, puzzle solving, and tense encounters, while certain traversal moments like whip swings, climbing, and environmental interactions shift perspective for a more cinematic feel. Gameplay blends stealth, close quarters combat, and limited gunplay, encouraging smart positioning and creative use of Indy's whip to disarm or stun enemies. Puzzles focus on deciphering clues, manipulating ancient mechanisms, and navigating hidden chambers filled with traps. Large, semi-open areas reward curiosity with optional secrets and side discoveries, reinforcing the adventurous tone while maintaining a strong narrative drive built around mystery, archaeology, and high-stakes treasure hunting. Orbitals is scheduled to release in summer 2026 exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2, offering a cooperative sci-fi adventure centered on teamwork and environmental problem-solving. The story follows two explorers, Maki and Omura, as they attempt to save their deteriorating space station after it becomes trapped within a mysterious cosmic storm. Gameplay is built around two-player cooperation, either locally or online, with puzzles designed to require coordination, timing, and shared planning rather than solo solutions. Each character appears to have complementary abilities, encouraging communication as players activate mechanisms, manipulate energy systems, and navigate hazardous environments beyond the storm barrier. Exploration plays a major role, with interconnected areas of the station and surrounding space gradually unlocking as you progress. The visual style leans into retro anime inspiration, blending expressive character animation with colorful but dangerous cosmic landscapes. With its focus on asymmetrical puzzle design, shared exploration, and narrative-driven progression, Orbitals aims to deliver a thoughtful co-op experience tailored specifically for Nintendo's next-generation hardware.
Use the tools together, and you might discover unexpected solutions to puzzles. While exploring, you can encounter strange life forms, or opt for a detour and take a little travel break. With GameShare, 2 players can adventure.
PARANORMASIGHT, The Mermaid's Curse, releases on February 19th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, continuing the supernatural visual novel style of the original with a brand new mystery set in Japan's coastal Ise-Shima region. The story revolves around a cursed legend tied to mermaids and a remote island, where multiple characters become entangled in eerie events connected to ancient folklore and unexplained deaths. The narrative unfolds through shifting perspectives, allowing players to follow different protagonists and gradually piece together how their fates intersect. Gameplay focuses on investigation, dialogue choices, and careful observation of environments, with players examining scenes, questioning suspects, and uncovering hidden details that influence branching story paths. Tension builds through psychological horror rather than action, relying on atmosphere, sound design, and unsettling discoveries. This entry also introduces new interactive elements, including underwater exploration sequences that expand investigative options while deepening the connection between the island's myths and the unfolding mystery.
Ancient truth lies hidden beyond the centuries. PARANORMASIGHT, The Mermaid's Curse. Please salvage the truth from
Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters is scheduled to launch in 2026 on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, expanding the arcade-style football formula with a larger scale and deeper character focus. The game builds on high-energy, super-action soccer mechanics, where traditional elements like passing, dribbling, tackling, and shooting are enhanced by cinematic special techniques that trigger dramatic anime-style animations. Signature moves are no longer limited to shots, as defensive and support actions can also activate powerful abilities, adding tactical variety to every match. The roster includes over 100 characters from multiple national teams, each with distinct stats and playstyles that influence team composition and strategy. A dedicated story mode lets players create their own athlete, develop relationships with iconic characters, and compete in structured tournaments that mirror the series' competitive spirit. With refined controls, faster pacing, and expanded customization systems, the game aims to combine narrative progression with intense, over-the-top football action. Tales of Berseria Remastered launches on February 27, 2026 for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, bringing the action JRPG back with upgraded visuals and modern refinements. The story follows Velvet Crow, a woman consumed by revenge after a traumatic betrayal, as she sails across the kingdom of Midgand, gathering a morally complex crew whose goals often clash with the world's rigid order. Combat unfolds in real time, letting players chain arts into customizable combo strings while managing the soul gauge system, which rewards aggression but punishes reckless play. Well-timed dodges and break soul abilities allow Velvet to temporarily unleash powerful transformations that shift battle momentum. Exploration includes towns, dungeons, side quests, and optional character-driven skits that deepen party relationships and world lore. The Remastered Edition improves textures, lighting, UI clarity, and navigation tools, while also including previously released bonus content, delivering a smoother but still emotionally intense journey focused on vengeance, freedom, and shifting morality.
I am a monster! I am a Therian! The hearts are yours!
Very well. It is time.
Valheim is scheduled to arrive on Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, bringing the Norse-inspired survival adventure to Nintendo's next-generation platform. Set in a procedurally generated world rooted in Viking mythology, the game places you in the role of a fallen warrior sent to prove their worth by conquering powerful, forsaken creatures across distinct biomes. Gameplay blends exploration, survival systems, and deep crafting mechanics, requiring players to gather wood, ore, food, and rare materials to craft weapons, armor, and increasingly complex structures. Combat is action-focused, featuring melee weapons, shields, bows, and magic, with stamina management playing a key role in both fights and traversal. Each biome introduces new environmental hazards and major boss encounters that drive progression. Building is highly flexible, allowing players to construct longhouses, fortifications, and entire settlements. The game also supports cooperative multiplayer, encouraging teams to sail across oceans, establish shared bases, and prepare strategically before facing the realm's toughest mythological threats.
Sail on the high seas to reach new lands and create even more strongholds. Plus, up to 10 players online can explore this vast world together. Now, go forth and survive.
Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok arrives on July 9th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, expanding the original action RPG with new story content and in-game challenges. Set in the floating sky realm, the narrative continues after the main adventure, introducing the Ragnalia, powerful entities linked to catastrophic events threatening the skies. Players guide the captain and crew across new islands and airship routes, uncovering deeper lore while facing increasingly dangerous foes. Combat remains fast and party-based, allowing direct control of one character while issuing commands to allies, chaining light and heavy attacks into flashy skills and skybound arts. Endless Ragnarok adds higher difficulty cooperative quests, new boss encounters, and additional progression systems, including expanded traits and summon options that refine build variety. A new solo challenge mode pushes mechanical mastery, while co-op play encourages team coordination and role synergy. With enhanced visuals and expanded systems, this edition aims to deliver a larger, more demanding action RPG experience.
Ready yourself. By sword and shield, or fang and claw, we will keep this realm safe.
Just wonder if that guy...
The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, launches on June 18th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, delivering a new HD 2D action RPG that blends pixel art with modern lighting and depth effects. The story follows Elliot, a young adventurer who leaves the safety of the Kingdom of Huther to explore the dangerous continent of Philadelphia, uncovering ancient ruins and secrets tied to a mysterious doorway of time that connects events across centuries. Combat unfolds in real time, allowing players to freely move, dodge, guard, and chain attacks using multiple weapon types such as swords, bows, chains, and more, each offering distinct mechanics and upgrade paths. Magicite fragments enhance abilities and expand combat options, encouraging build experimentation. Elliot is joined by a fairy companion, Faye, who assists in battle, puzzle solving, and traversal, and can even be controlled by a second player in co-op. Exploration emphasizes interconnected regions, environmental tools like bombs, and dynamic dungeon challenges.
Have I lost everything again?
You still have a chance to save us all.
Please, you have to live.
Let's go, Faye. We have to save Furia.
PRAGMATA launches on April 24th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, delivering a sci-fi action-adventure set on a near-future lunar research station cut off from Earth. The story follows astronaut Hugh Williams and a mysterious android girl named Diana as they attempt to survive and escape a moon base overtaken by hostile systems and rogue AI forces. Gameplay is built around a dual-character dynamic, where Hugh handles third-person shooting, mobility, and direct combat using firearms and agile movement tools, while Diana supports him through real-time hacking sequences that weaken enemies and override security systems. These hacking moments play out through interactive, grid-based mechanics, layered directly into combat encounters, forcing players to think strategically rather than rely purely on reflexes. Exploration moves through interconnected corridors, industrial facilities, and damaged habitats, blending environmental storytelling with tense encounters. The relationship between Hugh and Diana evolves throughout the journey, adding emotional weight to the mystery as players uncover what truly happened on the moon.
Jump, Q!
This friggin' thing is tough as hell!
We can use this to hit harder and beat things faster. We did it!
Turok Origins is scheduled to launch in fall 2026 on Nintendo Switch 2, reviving the dinosaur hunting franchise with a modern, third-person action focus. The story centers on elite Turok warriors battling prehistoric predators and a powerful alien force threatening humanity's survival, blending primal wilderness combat with science fiction elements. Gameplay shifts to an over-the-shoulder perspective, emphasizing mobility, dodging, and tactical positioning during intense encounters against towering dinosaurs and heavily armed enemies. Players can wield a mix of advanced firearms and traditional weapons like bows, with class-based abilities adding strategic variety. A key progression system allows you to harvest DNA from defeated creatures, upgrading gear, and unlocking new combat enhancements that adapt to different playstyles. Cooperative multiplayer supports up to 3 additional players online, encouraging coordinated tactics during large-scale battles and boss fights. With varied biomes, dangerous ruins, and large hostile creatures roaming dynamic environments, the game aims to blend cinematic action with survival-driven combat depth.
Swap between first-person and third-person perspectives as you unleash weapons, melee attacks, and special abilities to devastate foes. Extract DNA from fallen enemies and the environment to upgrade your arsenal, evolve your mantle, and unlock even more.
Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake launches on March 12, 2026 for Nintendo Switch. 2. Rebuilding the survival horror classic with modern visuals and refined mechanics while preserving its psychological tension. The story follows twin sisters Mio and Mayu Amakura after they wander into the abandoned Minakami village, a place bound by a tragic ritual and haunted by restless spirits. Gameplay centers on the camera obscura, a supernatural device used to photograph and exorcise ghosts, turning close encounters into tense, risk-reward moments where timing and positioning determine damage dealt. Exploration unfolds through narrow corridors, shrines, forests, and decaying houses, with environmental storytelling revealing the village's disturbing past. The remake enhances lighting, character models, and sound design to intensify atmosphere, while adding expanded areas and new narrative fragments that deepen the lore. A new mechanic strengthens the emotional bond between the sisters, influencing survival elements as you navigate limited resources, supernatural threats, and unsettling discoveries throughout the cursed village.
If only there were some clue. If I open this, I might be able to get out.
Digimon's story, Time Stranger, launches on July 10th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, bringing a large-scale monster-raising JRPG that bridges the human world and the digital world through a time-bending narrative. The story follows an agent connected to the Adamus organization who becomes caught in a catastrophic incident that fractures reality, forcing a journey into the past to prevent the collapse of both realms. Gameplay revolves around recruiting, training, and evolving over 450 Digimon, each with branching evolution paths that allow flexible team building. Battles are turn-based and emphasize elemental affinities, status effects, and synergy between party members, with powerful cross-arts abilities activating once special gauges are filled. Exploration moves between urban environments and fully realized digital landscapes, featuring side quests, hidden encounters, and character-driven story moments. Customization systems let players adjust skills, attributes, and support traits, encouraging strategic experimentation while gradually strengthening bonds between humans and their Digimon partners.
It's dangerous. Too dangerous. That is a domain we cannot easily tread upon. Inori Misono and Agiomon, the most plausible source of the anomaly. From this moment forward, they're to be recognized.
Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection launches on March 13th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, expanding the turn-based RPG spin-off with a darker storyline and deeper progression systems. The narrative centers on the kingdoms of Azuria and Vermeil, which face collapse due to a spreading phenomenon known as the crystal encroachment that distorts ecosystems and threatens both humans and monsters. Players take on the role of a rider-heir who forms bonds with monsties, hatching them from eggs and raising them into powerful companions. Combat remains turn-based, built around the signature power, speed, and technique triangle system, where reading enemy behavior and coordinating with your monstie enables devastating combo attacks and kinship skills. Exploration spans varied biomes filled with quests, hidden dens, and rare eggs, while new mechanics such as habitat restoration tie progression to rebuilding damaged environments. Customization, gene inheritance, and strategic team building remain central, encouraging thoughtful party composition as the conflict escalates.
Good!
Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition launches on February 24th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, bringing the full post-apocalyptic RPG experience to Nintendo's hardware with expanded content included. Set in the irradiated Commonwealth around Boston, the story follows the sole survivor emerging from Vault 111 in search of their kidnapped child, navigating a fractured world shaped by competing factions and moral choices. Gameplay blends open-world exploration with deep role-playing systems, allowing players to customize perks through the Especial system, scavenge for gear, craft weapons and armor, and construct fully functional settlements. Combat can be played in real time or slowed using the VATS targeting system to strategically select enemy body parts. The Anniversary Edition includes all major expansions such as Far Harbor and Nuka World, along with extensive Creation Club content that adds quests, equipment, and customization options, delivering a complete and highly flexible survival-driven RPG adventure. Resident Evil Requiem launches on February 27th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2, continuing the mainline survival horror saga with a dual protagonist structure. The story unfolds years after the Raccoon City disaster, following FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft as she investigates a hotel connected to her mother's death, while Leon S. Kennedy confronts a new wave of bioorganic threats tied to lingering Umbrella experiments. Gameplay blends tense survival mechanics with cinematic action, requiring careful resource management, limited ammunition control, and methodical exploration through decaying environments filled with puzzles and hidden lore. Players can experience sections in both first-person and third-person perspectives, depending on the scenario, adding variety to combat and immersion. Grace's segments lean into psychological tension and investigation, while Leon's sequences emphasize tactical gunplay and crowd control. Environmental storytelling, dynamic lighting, and unsettling creature design reinforce atmosphere as both narratives gradually converge into a larger conspiracy, threatening to resurface old horrors in a modern setting.
To break the stunned opponent's stance in close quarters combat. He can fire from a distance using handguns and rifles, or use an enemy's weapon against them. Leon has a varied arsenal of attacks at his disposal.
And that's the list. Which game are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming content. I'll catch you in the next video.